the record, I never played The Last of Us, but I've watched Markiplier's Let's Play of it, and I thought that was very gripping and saddening, but I was wrong. There is another that is equally as depressing. Maybe a little less, but just be prepared, okay? Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Myra, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new to my channel, hi, my name is Myra, as I mentioned before, and I make movie-related videos, mostly movie reviews and sometimes trailer reactions, and now I'm trying to branch to challenges and discussion, but, you know, let's save that for the future. But yeah, I'm doing mostly everything there is to know about movies, or things that connect to movies, things about movies. I'm rambling. Yeah. If you are subscribed to me, make sure you also click the bell button beside my subscribe button so you will be notified if I upload something new. So yeah, please do that if you haven't. And let's move on to the review. Regarding the game that I mentioned the first time, which I also mentioned in my trailer reaction as well, The Last of Us is about a man saving a girl that he doesn't really know well, but ends up getting very attached to her and willing to help her or save her regardless of the situation, of how dangerous the situation might be. It's the same with this movie, only with a few differences at first. I'll tell you what happened, then maybe you can see the similarities between the cast, which is, you know, Logan and a girl. Exactly like The Last of Us. So, here we go. Logan is old. He's visibly sick, even though he won't admit it. He's working as a limo driver, and his healing factor is failing. Probably because of his sickness, probably because he's too damn old, probably because of both. I don't think even Logan is absolutely sure on what's making him not being able to heal as fast as usual anymore. But that happened and he has to face it, and at the same time, he has to take care of the old and deteriorating Professor X, one that could have seizure and will affect a certain area, and by area I mean like a whole population where he was in, where the people will not be able to breathe or do anything in a certain amount of time, and if the seizure continues, they will die eventually. The only person that could handle the poor professor was Logan. So him and another mutant called Caliban has to take turn taking care of Professor X. However, things went awry when someone from a certain company searching for Logan and asked Logan if he knows a woman that is looking for him. I hope this makes sense. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I cannot explain it better than that. And the woman in their conversation actually find Logan and ask his help to accompany a girl to a certain place. And this girl is definitely something. I mean, she was quiet at first, but in time everyone would know that she has certain similar traits to Logan. And even though Logan wasn't interested at first, he eventually helps her, by the way, this girl's name is Laura, to get where she wanted to go, and possibly did one last thing as Wolverine and not as a loser as he previously portrayed in the beginning of the movie, before he permanently retired. So with that gist of the story, I will try to tell you my first reaction about it. The first scene was Wolverine or Logan trying to fight a bunch of thugs that was kicking and hitting his limo. Of course, I expect him to be the Wolverine that we all know and love, you know, the berserker thing that he does. But once I realized that he cannot extend his claws fully, I know this movie would show the flaws that Wolverine never had before. And it continues to do that, giving Wolverine his first almost human experience, which no one could watch in the previous movies. Yes, we all love the immortal claw rage mutant that makes Wolverine, but in here it's the other way around. Possibly because of adamantium poisoning. That could be one of the reasons why his healing factors isn't working properly, even though he still heals, but it works very slowly. And with all of that, he still has to be there for Professor X, who is also sick but in a whole different way. And he is definitely more dangerous than Logan thanks to the sickness. So, Logan's life pretty much sucked. Afterwards, the storyline pans to this nurse that wants to help a certain girl reach this safe place. But she can't do it alone because they are being hunted. And knowing Logan was some sort of hero back then, she wanted his help. In this part, we can see that Logan is done being a hero. He just wanted to get away and take care of Professor X for as long as he can, but then he saw how the girl he was supposed to protect and how she was the girl version of him. That's when he decided to help. Well, yeah, Logan was groveling and dismissing the whole time, especially when it comes to the coordinates they were supposed to go, because the coordinates was taken from a comic book. Well, granted, it's an X-Men comic book, but it's a comic book, so pretty much sure that it was fictional. But regardless of that, he followed her every step of the way. And I'm happy to say that once again, we could see him as the Wolverine, with all of his silverish claw and glory, one last time before he eventually retired. I just can't say that he is dead. I just don't have the heart to say that because Hugh Jackman has played Wolverine for the last 17 years. And he played that character splendidly. It's like he never aged, which is perfect for Wolverine, and now it has ended. And even though I am quite sad about it, I think it's a given. It's been a while since he first started, so it's only natural that at some point he wants to stop, or the character has enough of what happened in his lifetime. And that's actually one of the possibilities Logan was willing to face, or would be the end of him. He actually had one of the adamantium bullets that could end his life, and he just kept it. If he had a gun, he probably wouldn't be alive for the movie. But how he retired was so much more fitting. He managed to be the hero one last time before his somewhat clone ended his life. Well, rest in peace, Logan. I definitely want to see him play cameos every now and then, but that might send the wrong message to the fans. It might even send the wrong message to me. Another thing that I like about this movie is how they tell a story about the end of the X-Men era. I know it was suggested that Professor X was the one who is responsible for the death of the X-Men, but I am assured that the comic was different. It was actually Logan that ended the X-Men era. Nevertheless, the story was turned around by this company who made Laura, where they basically just made mutants. I think it is safe to say that mutants are pretty scarce in that timeline. Only genetically engineered mutants that survived. This represents yet another interesting future in the X-Men universe, where these engineered mutants could replace the old mutants and continue to save the world. And this future could be conveniently delivered, remembering that most mutants are innocent children, those who has clear conscience, hopefully, and are able to build a better future. And if anyone is on board with this or has any idea where this might go, maybe you've read comics about it, just comment below. Also, there is one aspect of this movie that we should all be able to appreciate. It's how the faces of Logan and Laura was actually CGI, especially when they have to do dangerous thing, like when Logan was driving fast, or Laura doing a fighting scene that involves her, doing a backflip and scissors locks and things like that. I say too many times, I'm sorry. The CGI is also flawless. I didn't realize that it happened until I read an article about it. Also, the copycat of Wolverine, if it's also CGI, that is a flawless piece of work. I mean, at least the face is CGI'd. It really looks like the almost younger version of Logan. Let's move on to characters. Of course, Hugh Jackman should take the big score in this movie, considering this would be the last movie he played as Wolverine, and it could only be trumped by the last movie that he made or he starred at when he was in Japan, I think. But my eyes were set in another leading role, which is Laura. Not only that she bears a lot of physical and not so physical traits of Logan. And by that, I mean the way she handles things. Kill first and talk later. She was able to capture the audience without having to talk. Yes, she will be revealed as someone who speaks fluent Spanish. But at first, we just know her as a fresh mutant who has no experience in being social. The character itself is very unique, and I love how Daphne Keane is able to portray her. In another note, I didn't expect Professor X to die in this movie, but he did. And even though him being dead is quite surprising, maybe it's for the best? I mean, the seizure that he does could kill 100 of people at once. And that already happened. And it kind of put mutants on a bad map. However, don't think that I don't have sympathy for him. Professor X does a lot of things to the mutant community, and I do wish he did have a thriving, happy last days. Sadly, it's not what happened. Thanks for Patrick Stewart for playing him after all these years though. I appreciate his work. So, should you watch this movie? I'd recommend it, but it's not for everyone. Like I said, it's a different part of Logan that not everyone could accept. The previous movies portray him as this strong, immortal mutant that could not die no matter how many things that were thrown at him. But in here, he's fragile and weak and dying. Some people might not understand or even care how he could be like that. Maybe they just want a full of action X-Men movie, but this is not that. However, for me, the story speaks so much, and I love how it could show that even the most powerful mutant can disintegrate over time in the worst possible ways. But it's not too late for anyone to try his or her best to be a hero, because it would pay off in the end at last. Logan might not survive, but at least he could tell his daughter that he is not the loser that he portrayed in the journey. In the end, he's still the hero and a person Laura expected of him. So, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you like it. I'm sorry if it's a bit long, but I have a lot to rant about this movie. Fortunately, it is good rant, not a bad rant. So, I hope you like this video, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you like it. You know, tell me things that you want to know more, or if you have any opinion about this movie, do let me know. And yeah, you already know the drill, and don't forget to smile and be happy every day, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.